Welcome to Business Planning Success 104, Introduction to Buyers. Let's go ahead and get started. Working with buyer basics. Working with buyers should be incidental. Don't get caught up in the buyer's trap. What does that mean, incidental? It means everything that you're doing, you're trying to get listings. And what happens from that is that buyers fall on your lap. You're going to end up finding buyers just by your friends. You're going to end up finding buyers because of things that you've done to market yourself to get more listings. You're going to be walking to the grocery store. Somebody see your realtor badge on or see your business cards, or they're going to call you because they found you on realtor.com or your website or Zillow. That's all incidental. What we don't want to be doing is going out soliciting buyer business. Taking a break mentality is hard to get out of. And, so here's the thing. When you start working with buyers, we consider that taking a break. It's a good thing to do. If you spend 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row on the phone, setting listing appointments for 3 hours a day minimum, you're going to start getting some listings. And you're going to get to the point where it's like, oh, I need a couple of days of not making calls. Great. Go grab a buyer and go work with them. But you have to have that in your mind that you are taking a break and that you need to get back to your real job, which is looking for listings. Playing, not working. Buyers are playing. When you go out, we work with sellers, we play with buyers. And what does that mean? Buyers will spend a lot of your time, your resources. Hey, can we go see these 5 houses? You go and see them. Oh, well, we really don't love these houses, but we see 5 more tomorrow. Can we see 5 more next week? You're watching your gas tank go down. You're watching your hours be chewed up. Can you get sales from them? Can you make money off of buyers? Absolutely, on both. But just be aware that when that this is more of a hobby, working with buyers, or should I say playing with buyers, and that your real job is getting listings. Agents that work with buyers get paid accordingly. Streamlining your buyers. So there is a way around wasting too much time with buyers. Build a streamlined and simple process for speed. The secret to building a business with buyers is that it's both personally and professionally profitable is to work with as many as you can and as little time as possible. Sometimes bringing, if you have 2 people that may like the same house, set an appointment for one at 2:00 and one at 2:30. So you're only going out one time. There are ways to streamline the process. And when we get to the Buyers for Success series in our Step Ahead Bootcamp, we're going to go through and really teach you how to do this. Is your buyer a seller? So many people get so caught up, especially new agents, they get caught up. I got a new client. And they're all excited. And they never bother to ask that buyer, hey, where are you living now? Do you have a property you need to sell? Many agents don't ask. Ask. Where are they living now? What's their situation? Do they need help getting from where they are now so that they can be a buyer? Find out their current situation and ask to list a house. Remember, our job is we always want the listing first. That's the most important part. How do buyers find their realtor? Well, look at this, guys. 42% of all buyers find their realtor because they're referred by a friend, neighbor, or relative. It's 51% for first-time home buyers. So what's the lesson learned from this graphic? Haul your sphere of influence and build your sphere of influence and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. It's nearly half of first-time home buyers, guys. It's over half. And it's more than 4 out of 10 of all buyers that are going to find out about you by a friend, neighbor, or relative. So continue to build those relationships and make that stronger. Look at everything else other than first-time home buyers from a website. Everything else on this list other than other, which is many things, right? Where are these things? They're all under 10%, right? I mean, use agent previously to buy or sell a home, 12% and 17%. Okay, so I don't know how first-time home buyers, how that works, but hey, we're not going to question these statistics. They come from the NAR. But anyway, understand how important sphere of influence is here. Everything else that's on here you can see are small dribs and drabs. Not that those dribs and drabs aren't important. You don't need to work them because you do, but understand the power of your sphere of influence here. Categorizing buyers. This is very important to learn early on. It's also true with sellers. There are 3 categories of buyers. An A buyer, if you find an A buyer, you should work with them until they buy. Work with them around the clock if you have to, because you know a couple things. They are in a situation that has to buy, and they have to buy now. So what does that mean? They just sold their house. Their house is sold. They have no place to sleep in 30 days or 60 days when it comes to closing. Their lease is expiring in 60 days. They are moving to the area from somewhere, and they're living in a temporary house or a hotel or something like that. These are the best type of buyers. And as I said, show as many houses as you need to until they're under contract and buy. A B buyer is someone that wants to buy. Yes, it would be nice to buy. We want to buy, but we don't have to do it right now. We could maybe wait and get the price that we want, or wait until the market shifts, or wait until interest rates drop, or wait until that absolute perfect house comes on the market. They're committed, but they're not 100% committed. A C buyer is someone that would like to buy, and they want everything to work. They want the moon and the stars and the sun to all align. I want to get the most money for my house. Even though my house is worth not as much, I want $25,000 more than what it's worth. And I want to be able to get the house that's absolutely perfect for me, and also maybe get a $10,000 off the price of that and negotiate it down. They'd buy, but they'll only buy if everything's perfect. B and C buyers, guys, are a waste of your time. Refer them out. Just, if they're friends of yours and this is going to be the case with them, say, look, you know what? I've got a great agent that really knows that area a little bit better than me. They know that neighborhood that you're looking at better than me, or they know that town better than me. And I'm going to send them to them. Take your 25% and let them go waste their time while you could be back doing your real job, which is being out finding sellers and not spending $400 in gasoline, driving them, parading them around. And then when they finally find something they like, realizing that they are completely unflexible and are in no hurry to make a deal. Buyer's needs analysis. I have this. We're going to review this in Script Mastery, and this is in the resources for this module. But create a buyer's needs analysis worksheet. Send it before the meeting and ask them to return it to you. Why? Number one, it shows that you're a professional. You're asking them what they want to do, and you have a form all set up to go. If they're interviewing more than one agent, the other agent doesn't have that, who's going to look more professional? Who's going to look organized? You are. It also, though, it shows that you care about their needs. Also, it takes time. So you send this to them, and they spend 15, 20 minutes putting this together, and they say, well, maybe we should interview another agent. Well, you know what they're going to think to themselves? I don't want to go interview another agent. I don't fill another one of these things out. It's time consuming. So it'll eliminate them from interviewing multiple agents, and it will give you the intel of what they really want. So somebody says to you, I want you to, I want to buy a house. I want it to be a 4-bedroom. I want it to be on 1 floor. I don't want 2 floors. And they tell you the town, and that's all they tell you. Well, and they think you know everything you need to know, price range, whatever. This form actually digs and asks more questions. Maybe if they're in Florida, they want a pool, or maybe they want a fence, or maybe they want a large garage. Whatever those things, it will come out, and you will now know that, and it'll give you better intel on what they want. Have market intelligence. You guys need to know the market. It's very important. It shows your expertise, and it aids in making offers. One of the ways that we do that is understanding average sales price, the average days on the market in that area, list price to sale price. This is something that most agents don't bother with and don't understand. This is one of the most important tools you could possibly have. And I just had this conversation with an agent, and they were talking about, what do I do when a house is listed, let's just say for $400,000, and I have somebody that's telling me they want to put an offer in for $350,000. Well, understanding list price to sale price takes care of that. So you say, well, over the last 6 months in this town, houses have sold for 99% or 98% or whatever that number is. And you need to know that number, and you can get this from the MLS, 99% of the sale price. So what does that mean? On a $400,000 house, the average price that the seller would get would be $396,000, and you want to offer them $350,000. Their agent has already told them that if they list a house for $400,000, the average list price to sales price is going to be about 1%, so about $1,000 per 100,000, and they're expecting to get no less than $396,000 for this house. When you go in with the $350,000, they're just going to ignore your offer, and it's going to make you look like, and it's going to make me look like we didn't even review the market. So list price to sell price is a great thing that you guys all should do. It's very easy to do. Go into the MLS, put in whatever town it is, or if you want to do the neighborhood, or however you want to break it down, and collect the data of how many houses sold, let's say, in the last 30 days there, and then what the total number was for the list prices and the total number for the sales prices. You divide those two numbers, and that's how you get that number. And every area is a little bit different, but you'll find that it's usually not that far. It's certainly not 50,000 far from what I just said. And that allows you to intelligently advise your client, like, hey, you want to put an offer in for $350,000. It's just not even you're not even in the realm of possibility. Oh, let's just give it a try. Well, listen, their agent told them that, they're going to get 99% of what they listed for, because that's the average. Might we be able to beat them down and get 98%? That's a possibility. We could try it, but we're not going to be able to get them, down $50,000. Establish next steps. Communicate your next steps. Many buyers switch realtors because they feel the agent was not attentive. So you meet this person, you send them everything that's in the MLS, and hopefully you're doing it through your personal website and not the MLS, and you're sending them a drip when new things are coming out. Well, you're in a market where there's not a lot coming out of the market right now, let's say. What do they feel? And there's nothing to really talk to them about, because you've told them everything. And they feel neglected. They feel like you're not paying attention to them. So it's very important that you communicate your next steps. I'm only going to call you when something comes on the market, or if there's news, or if there's this. And if they know those things, they're going to realize that you are, first of all, in control of the relationship, that you care about them, and that you're going to be there because they want somebody to represent them. Create a communication plan. Let's get together every Friday at 11 a.m. On a phone call just to discuss what was going on that week. That way you can stay in touch, even if it's a market where listings are coming very slow. Explain how you're going to send listings. Again, through your website is the proper way. Explain why they should use your website, not Zillow, not Realtor.com, not even the things that maybe they're getting from another realtor from the MLS. And explain how the search works on your website, so they know how to go in and alter the search. They may start by saying, we want to move to this one town, and realize that maybe the homes in that town, although it's their ideal, maybe are a little bit more than they want to get the house that they want. So maybe they're willing to go to the next town over. Well, they can update that. So show them how all of that works. Create a just say yes or just say no policy. Explain that if they find the house they love, they should tell you immediately. So, we're scheduled to see 5 houses. I don't want to insult my realtor by not going and seeing the other 4, but I know that this is the perfect house for me. That's okay. You can tell them ahead of time. It's okay. We don't have to see every house. Conversely, If they don't like a house, don't waste the time. Just say no. I had a situation. I was down in Largo, Florida, and the second I started going down the street where this house was, the client, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here. They didn't like it was too close to a major road. They didn't like the houses were close to each other. And so I said, well, I'm not going to waste your time. And we went to the next one on the list. If you let people know ahead of time that they can just say yes or just say no, they won't waste their time and your time when these types of situations come up. The showing. Find the best homes in the price range. It's what I call a shiny penny home. And we'll learn more about this again when we get to the working with buyers for success. But you should not show anything better than the top 5, at most 7 houses in a price range. And here's why. If you tell me you want to see the top 5 houses, and I know them because I know the market, and that's my job as a realtor, I know the market, and I take you to the best 5 houses between $350,000 and $400,000, and you don't like any of them, why would you like the house that was the 6th best or the 7th best or the 8th best? You wouldn't, right? So explain this ahead of time. I know the top 5 homes in each price range in where you're looking to move. And sometimes I may show you a house that may not be quite what you asked for. Like, for example, you may have asked for a 4-story house, but I have a ranch house that just the perceived value is better. You will find that people will buy the house that shows them the biggest bang for the buck. So if I take them to this ranch after they swore they wanted a 2-story, but this ranch looks like, wow, all these other houses look like $350,000, $400,000 houses. This looks like a $450,000 house. It's got a bigger lot. It's got an extra room. It's got a this. It's got a that. You'll be shocked how the person says, I absolutely need 2 stories. All of a sudden says, oh, we want to put an offer on this house. So by understanding the best houses in the price range, you can sometimes get your clients to think out of the box. The other thing is that you don't want to show number 10 on that list. If they didn't like 1 to 5, why would they like 10? That is obviously nowhere near as nice a house. Explain this to them ahead of time and say to them, if we don't find it in these 5, the house that you're looking for really kind of isn't available right now. Let's just keep looking. I'll keep sending you listings. When another top 5 house comes onto the market, then we'll go out and we'll see it. This will streamline your process and save you time. Again, if they don't buy one of the top 5 houses, they're probably not ready to buy. I just said this, wait until another top 5 to 7 house lists before showing it to them. Don't waste your time continuing to show them houses. You only show your clients the best of the best. Agents do this all the time. And then what happens is the client actually gets frustrated. They're going out, and, I didn't like the houses you showed me yesterday. Now you're showing me houses that are of inferior quality. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you can get your buyers. I'm never going to find a house. I'm this, that, because the agent didn't explain to them the process. These are the best 5 right now. It doesn't mean that there won't be more coming on, but they don't come on all the time, which creates a little bit of a scarcity thing and makes them pick from what's available. And yeah, I could show you 12 houses, but houses 6 through 12 are going to be of much less quality. They're not going to have the upgrades. They're going to have granite, they're not going to have granite. They're going to have formica. They're not going to have tile. They're going to have carpet. They're going to be run down a little more. And by explaining that, you're going to save your time, you're going to save their time, and you're going to streamline the process. Remember, your real thing you want to do, well, first of all, don't waste your time continuing to show them houses. Only show the best of the best. Keep in mind, you want to keep your time free for your real job, which is doing what? Getting listings. That's where the bulk of your time should be spent, getting listings, not working with buyers. Feedback. Always ask for feedback from every showing. Use feedback to tweak searches. And what this does, and for future showings, what this does is it allows you to know that maybe that person didn't even write on that sheet that I gave you that a fence is a must, or backing up to a preserve is a must, or having a pool is a must. Well, by looking at the feedback, you can get more intel on your clients, which is going to help you find them that perfect house. And always provide feedback to the listing agents. If anybody out there hasn't had a listing, you'll understand when you do. Feedback is gold, especially if an agent has a house that's overpriced and the feedback keeps coming in from other realtors, priced a little high. Well, guess what? Now it's not just their realtor telling them, it's other people telling them. And that will help that realtor get the price right, hopefully, with their client. And again, does that affect you? Maybe, maybe not, but it's nice. It's a professional courtesy to help them. And trust me, when you're in that situation, you hope that they'll do it for you. So the offer, great. Guess what? You're about, client found the house, time to make an offer. Determine the offer price. Guys, just like we talk about in the pricing conversation, use math and statistics and remove emotions. Going back to that guy that wants to put a $350,000 offer on a $400,000 house. You say to him, did you know if you're serious and you want to buy this house, just so you know, the average sales price or asking price to sales price in this neighborhood, in this town, in this area, however you do the math, is about 1% off. So on a $400,000 house, I would expect for this house to sell for about $396,000. What do you want to do? If you want to put an offer in, be very aggressive. Maybe we do $390,000 or $392,000 and try to meet them in the middle, or $391,000. But we also have to consider what other competition. This house is new to the market. We expect that there are a lot of agents that have been showing it and are going to show it this weekend. We might end up in a situation where we get outbid by trying to just save a couple dollars. Use math, use statistics, and remove emotions. Know that list price to sold price percentage in the market, and then make a decision. You can see there's a little thing here. When do you go high? When do you go low? And when do you not go low? You go high in a market where you're going to have multiple offers. You go low if the house has been on the market for 150 days and it's just sitting there. Okay, that's when you would maybe take that little more of a shot. Don't go low when your buyers want to lowball and your CMA and the market conditions don't match their motivations. Counsel them on the very real risks of losing the home they really want if they're outbid, or if the sellers are offended and will not even entertain the offer. That's how you do it, guys. And again, use math and statistics to remove emotions. Responding to the offer. Okay. So there's three things that could happen. They would accept the offer, make a counter offer, or again, if you offended them or went low or whatever, they could reject the offer. If they accept the offer, obviously things are good and you need to go to next steps, which is setting up for them to go in and have a home inspection, making sure they're getting going with their financing or working with a mortgage person if they're obtaining a mortgage, and get them moving down that path very quickly. Counter offers can be done. You can negotiate those back and forth, but you will need to update the contract and have the contract ready, signed by your clients to send to the listing agent. Rejecting the offer is very simple. You're out of the game and you're looking for another house. So try to never get yourself in that situation. Contract to close, know the pitfalls. Communicate everything ahead of time, all the time. Let them know of common issues that may arise. I always go through, this is what's going to happen now that we're under contract, and I go through and I explain, this is how the inspection period works, what they may find. Inspectors can sometimes be alarming the way they write their reports. We want to keep our heads about us. Appraisals. What happens if the house doesn't appraise? Are you willing and have more cash to come in? Or is there a situation where maybe we can, negotiate? Contingencies. Do you have to sell your house you're living in now before you can go in this house, which is going to put you in a bad place from if we are in a situation where we're negotiating? Deadlines. Deadlines matter. If if you're supposed to have your mortgage commitment 5 days or 10 days before the closing, it's important that you actually have that commitment in hand, or you'll be out of contract. Always be ahead of the issues. Explain everything that can happen ahead of time. And then as they come up, over explain so that nobody's ever sitting there looking like a deer in the headlights. This is a fabulous, fabulous graphic that I will share with you as a breakout from this session. But basically, it talks about what you do when you're hit with an issue: surprises, payment, timeline, low home evaluation. And it tells you what to say, what the winning communication is. And like I say, I'll provide this to you guys in the breakout sessions. This is one of those things you want to hold on to. And when you're in the situation, you can refer to this and you'll know what to say. The closing. Beautiful thing about the closing, guys, is the closing is easy for agents, right? Your biggest job, you have two things I always say are your most important things when you go to the closing. First thing is keeping your clients calm. And that's true with sellers as well. Keep your buyers, keep your sellers calm. Talk to them about things that are unrelated, that maybe are talking things that they'll be excited about. Hey, you're excited to see how your furniture is going to look in your new living room. Things like that have them thinking on the positive, not thinking that, I remember the first time I signed a mortgage, the mortgage was for longer than I had been alive. That's a sobering thing when that happens to you. Second thing, stay out of the closing agent's way. They have a job to do. Don't cut in. If they start talking, you just shut up and let them have control of the situation. It's their show, not yours. Leave it that way. The third thing, which is really the second task that I have for you, is review the Alta. Make sure that your commission's correct. Make sure your fees are in there and they're correct. Make sure that your buyer's paying what they expected to pay. So just review everything on that closing document. I want to thank you for joining me for Business Planning Success 104 Introduction to Buyers. Please check out the additional resources that are in this module.